One of the biggest issues in Madden 19 Ultimate Team is to get the right receiver for what you are geared to do in your game plan. Now, for the most part, everybody that plays the game and has been playing for like the last couple of years, we kind of know that the aggressive catch is the king, right? The possession catch in Madden 19 is pretty broken. So what happens is, if you're going for a possession catch, you don't just get it and fall to the ground. The defender has an opportunity to knock it out of you, so it's not as OP as it was in 18, which is good and bad. But when you're talking about whether you should go after the Randy Moss or the Calvin Johnson, I would recommend that you get them both. Now, when I say I recommend it, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying that both of them are one and the same in certain instances. The only issue that you're going to have with Randy Moss is the strength value. When you look at how his strength value is very, very low when compared to Calvin's, and that's a very, very high strength for a wide receiver at 76. There's some free safeties with the same strength and defensive players that are strong that have very, very high hit power. So when you look at it with that aspect, when you're picking a player, I'm going to be honest with you, I pick Randy Moss just because it's Randy Moss. It has nothing to do with what he does in the game, because theoretically speaking, we all know that all the cards are going to do the same exact thing. Whether I go out with a bronze card or a silver card, they're going to get the same animations when they drop the ball. Now, the speed will vary. The speed will absolutely vary. You got to understand, once you get to a certain level of speed, it doesn't really matter about the chem. Like, Randy Moss, prior to this upgrade, his original speed was a 96, right? So we were able to chem him to a 99 since Christmas. But there's been no change since the last couple games I played, now that he's like a full 99 with white. You see what I'm saying? Also, the same thing with Calvin Johnson. His speed is a 95. He doesn't feel like a 99 when he runs. So it doesn't matter that I have him chem to a 99. If I just show you really quickly, I'll back out of this and I'll show you with the chem so that he's the card that's showing first. You'll see that he's chem to a 99. He doesn't really move like a 99 overall player, which is why I have issues with some of the blue chem boost and things of that nature, and people telling me that the speed chems work, because it's very, very obvious that they do not. All right, so now, as we look at this and we understand it, you may not understand the whole premise behind why I feel that you should have both. But, hey, Gmias, I got Jerry Rice, bro. He's pretty good, whatever. Again, Calvin Johnson, to me, is probably one of the best receivers in the game, if not the best. Why do I say that? When you look at his acceleration compared to like everybody else's, his height being 6'5", and the fact that he's the strongest amongst the wide receivers, that sets him apart. The theory of the strength, where some of you guys have been asking, does it really matter? Is strength really a factor? Is that something that we really need to have with our players? That is a very, very interesting question. And I don't have an answer for you, because sometimes I think the strength has something to do with it, and then I go into a game and then he just drops every ball. So when we compare that strength factor, right? Calvin Johnson is, he has all that. He's 77, 78 with the John Madden coach. Everything is looking really pretty, right? Let me just bring your attention to Gronkowski, all right? Because this is why I know that the strength is not really that big of a factor as people think that it is. Rob Gronkowski has like a 94 strength. What does he have? Let's go see what he has. He has a 95 strength. Now that +1 is from John Madden coach with the tier 2 of the physical chem. So if you guys want to know why it's boosted so high, that's pretty much what it is. I want to direct your attention to the speed and the acceleration of Rob Gronkowski. Now, all of you guys that have played this game, everybody should know that he's really not that fast in the game. Even if you compare him to somebody that's also chemmed, another player may move a lot faster. For instance, Franco Harris, he's chemmed up to about a 96 speed, right? Does he move like that? I'm not going to say he does move as fast, but because he's shorter, it kind of feels like he's moving that fast. But overall, if you throw the ball at the wrong time, even if he has a step, the computer will still be able to pick it because of how wacky the zones play. Like, you can recover very, very easily on defense if you choose to click on. So that's why I always recommend to my viewers, always click on. Click on to everything, because it's going to benefit you a lot. I can promise you that. All right? So now that we've addressed all of that situation as far as the speed, the way that the chems are actually making the players appear to be something that they're not, and I just gave you a couple examples using different variations with strength as opposed to not having good strength, we're going to talk about the fact that Randy Moss in himself is a really, really good card. all right? Randy Moss in himself is fine, but I just want to make sure that you guys see it and understand with the whole way that I just did this with Franco Harris and Rob Gronkowski. He is chemmed up to a 96 speed. Does he move like a 96 speed? You know, like he's always been one of those faster cards, but I'm not sure how they actually correlate it and how they make it. But I just know for certain that Gronkowski is not living up to his blue chemmed up stats. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not concerned about it. I know he's not living up to those stats. So when you guys address that type of question to me about which wide receiver is the better wide receiver, I'm always going to tell you that I go Calvin Johnson first. All right? I have to go Calvin Johnson first. It doesn't make any sense for me to not go Calvin Johnson first. If you look at the way that he's 6'5", he's the biggest receiver in the game. You know, he's the strongest receiver in the game. The spec catch, all that stuff. Like, it's clear to me, bro, that this guy is probably or should be considered the best in the game. When you look at their run block, all right, 61 to 50. I'm going to tell you right now, again, that's not really a determining factor to me, because most of you guys already know that I'm telling you guys the God honest truth. Tyreek Hill will stand up Sean Taylor with out of my way, and you will run for 6. And I will bet on that, bro. And I've seen it over and over again to the point where it's like, are they serious at the EA Sports headquarters? But that's just something that I want to make sure doesn't make you run away from Randy Moss. Oh, bro, Gmias, he don't got run block, bro. Yes, he does. He had run block when he had it in the 40s. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Like, that's the way the game is designed to be played. So when you look at it from that aspect, I just need you guys to understand that. It's a very, very simple formula that EA uses, and nobody knows what it is. Not even them. So I'm going to tell you this. Neither of these cards will be benched unless they release a Harold Carmichael. For those of you that don't know who Harold Carmichael is, the dude is a 6'8" savage. Now, when I had him, what was that, Madden 18? You were able to high point pass rat glitch in Madden 18, right? Where the height really mattered. So if you threw it like high and far in a bullet pass, they would literally go after it. At that time, he was the best wide receiver in the game because all you had to do was put it up in the air and it was a wrap. All right? So understand what I'm trying to explain to you. Because this game is completely different and everything is pretty much an overthrow, I'm going to take you guys inside of this whole situation, and we're going to look at some of the top wide receivers in the game. You're going to see Chad Johnson. You're going to see Keyshawn Johnson. You're going to see a bum, Danny Amendola. You're going to see all these idiot receivers that suck in the game. But, again, what makes them different from Calvin and Randy Moss? What makes them different? It's the height. There is literally nothing else that's going on that's making them different. You know what I'm saying? So when you gauge it like that, it's like, all right, you know, it's kind of weird that we'll look at this guy, 95 speed, all this other stuff, and you'll be like, yo, Gmias, when we came him up to 99, he doesn't really move any different than the other cards. And I'm like, I know that. But then we'll argue about, okay, bro, this blue chem, that blue chem, whatever, all kinds of blue chems. That's not what it's about. I'm just clearly showing you that when you put different receivers, different players in the game, I know you can argue acceleration, but you have to think about it. Randy Moss at this point has a 99 speed, 99 excel. I believe Calvin Johnson has also a very, very high excel as well. So most of these cards should be moving at the same pace, but they do not. And I show it to you guys regularly, but why do I deal with these two cards? Why am I saying that these two guys are the code breaker of Madden? Because they're the tallest and the fastest, regardless of the chem. Now, DeAndre Hopkins is a boss in real life. He's a great wide receiver in real life. This is Madden, though. So, yes, we can chem him up to a 99 speed and all that stuff. You may get some freaky aggressive catches and stuff like that. He's still 6'1". So, the way that I look at it is, even though they have the animations where the guy will stretch his arm out and it'll be like a tiny person behind him and he'll pick it, everybody knows what I'm talking about with that. You throw the ball up, the ball goes over your tall receiver and drops right into the hand of a shorter corner. These things that go on in the game, there you go right there. A bum Danny Amendola, Keyshawn Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like these cards are craziness. Stephon Diggs is pretty decent, but he's also too short. And I think that, you know, they got AB and they got OBJ. But like I said, it's not a big deal. Both of them are short. OBJ and, you know, AB are both short, so they're like non-existent to me. I know some of you guys still want me to get OBJ, but I don't think I'm going to go that route because I think I'm just asking for more pain by going that route. So now you're looking at it and you're assessing it. The best wide receivers, Like these guys, Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson, they break the game. That's the code of the game because they're going to give you the best animations no matter what if they want to give you that animation at that time being. That's the point. There is nothing else involved in it. That's pretty much the secret to it. All right? Those players have the most height. They have the most speed. Stop looking at the attributes. Stop looking at all the other things that go into it. Just get the tallest and the fastest receivers. And you will thank me later. Because when you throw it up in the wildest situations because you don't care anymore, similar to the way that I am at this point, you will enjoy the game a lot more knowing that you just mossed somebody instead of running around with OBJ and AB and, you know, all these other small dudes and getting just straight dominated. All right? Any other questions you have, you know what to do. Leave it in the comments. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. Enjoy your day. One love.